Welcome to Meet the Press. My name is Myung Kwant. I'm here in Omaha, Nebraska, and we are going to have a discussion on a panel show, and this will have to do with referendums and the post-referendum in Southern Sudan. I have a number of Southern Sudanese here in Nebraska, and I really appreciate your time to come to the show, and I will have to give you the mic so that you will tell us who you are, where you come from, what state you come from in Southern Sudan, and what you do here. And it would be good if you tell us your educational level too as well. I will start from my left to right. Please start with your names, where you come from in Southern Sudan, what state you come from, and what you do here in Nebraska. And go ahead.
My name is Mary George. I work in Southern Sudan Community Association, and my education, I have a diploma, and I've been working with Southern Sudan community now for almost 10 years, and I love to work with my people from Eastern Equatoria.
My name is Thior Kirwal. I'm from the state of Afrinal in Southern Sudan. And I've been here for 9 years in Omaha, Nebraska. And my education is I have 2-year college, and I'm still going to move forward. And I'm undergraduate in Bellevue University, but not yet to start it. And I'm very happy to see Myung Kwon today. And I'm very happy also to see us in the Southern Sudan TV. And then that's it.
My name is Stephen Lam, my young horse. My state in Southern Sudan is Unity State. My education level, I have a bachelor degree, and I'm doing another bachelor degree in business. And I work for Salvation Army, one of the biggest organizations in the U.S. I help the Sudanese, and I'm a liaison for the Sudanese community. And I'm also a vice president of Nuer Community Development Services USA, and I'm very glad to give some service to the Sudanese community. And thank you, Myung.
My name is Augustino Ting Mayai. I come from Warrap State. Currently live in the state of Wisconsin. I'm a graduate student, getting a PhD in demography. And what I do for living, I should say, is again being a student. So I do research, academic research in Southern Sudan, quantifying death rates for children. I am also a Secretary General for the SPLM Secretariat of the state of Wisconsin. And happy to be here and to be on the show. Thank you.
Yes, hello ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eunice Malav. I'm from the Eastern State region as well as Lake State. I'm a graduate of Langston University. I hold a bachelor's degree of science in nursing. Currently, I'm employed at Douglas County Health Center, where I work in the dementia unit. Thank you.
My name is Dalbany Malwal. I'm from Lake State. I have a bachelor degree in accounting. I'm now working in another bachelor degree in international business. I'm working with the state government, Department of Administration. I'm from Nebraska State here. Thank you.
My name is James Galwag. I am from the Afanal regions, from the Eastern Afanal. I live here in the United States for 15 years. I graduated high school and I have some college. I have done different kind of jobs. Thank you very much.
My name is Dol Worut. I'm the chairman of Nebraska SPLM chapter here. I'm also a licensed mental health therapist, providing mental health services to Sudanese populations, children, adolescents, families, and also American at large. I've lived here now for 15 years in the U.S., but 10 years in Nebraska. I hold a master's degree in clinical psychology and also working on a PhD in clinical psychology as well. I came from Afrinal State, particularly from Wulang County. I'm very happy to be one of the members who talk with Myung Kwon. Thank you so much to be among the team that you are interviewing.
My name is James Gwek, or Reverend Gwek. I am from Omaha, Nebraska, originally from United State, County of Nassau. I am pastoring with Southern Baptist Convention in Omaha. I'm pastor for Church Affairs out of Omaha, Nebraska, working with New Christian Network as advisors. I host a bachelor degree in theology, high diploma in Islam, Christianity comparisons. I'm doing master degree in counseling right now. Thank you for being with the team.
My name is Gabriel Toykol. I'm from Nebraska. My education is, I have a high school. I'm now going to go back to college right now, to community college from Jonglei State.
My name is Galwa Kang, or if you want it all, it should be Galwador Kang from Great Afanals, from Maywood County. I've been here in the United States for about 15 years now. I've been working for Southern Sudan Community Association as interpreter, court interpreters, and caseworkers, and employment specialists for about 10 years now. I have a diploma from college, and I'm proceeding my bachelor degree at Bellevue University. Thank you.
My name is Jojo Yetudo. I'm from Eastern Equatoria State originally, and I've been here in Nebraska for about 10 years now, but I've been in the USA for about 15 years. I hold an associate degree in statistics, and I'm pursuing management information systems, a degree in management information systems at UNO, University of Nebraska. I'm glad to be in this panel. Thank you.
My name is Bandang Madinkwith. I'm from Jonglei State, Southern Sudan. I hold a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with double majors in Finance and Banking. I've lived here for 10 years in the state of Nebraska. My occupation, I am self-employed, individual tax income consultant. Glad to be on the show. Thank you.
My name is Nin Chaimbol. I'm from Jonglei State in Southern Sudan. I live in the state of Nebraska for the last 11 years, and I've been in this state for 11 years. I hold a bachelor degree of science in management information system in University of Nebraska, and I'm working with Omaha Public School as a community liaison for the last 10 years. And I'm glad to be in the show, and thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very glad that you have tell me where you are all from and what you do, so that I will know how you can contribute to the program. Just not to waste time, we want to get to our panel show, and our discussion, as I told you earlier, has to do with the referendum, Southern Sudan referendum that will happen in January next year. Now, my first question to you, and everyone will have chance to raise his or her hand to say how he or she want to answer it. I want you to tell us how, if you are to vote for referendum today, would you vote for new state or not? And if yes or not, explain why. Just raise your hand and I will give you the mic. Let me start with the gentleman from Eastern Equatoria. Yes.
Thank you very much for the floor. Your question is very clear. If I was to vote today for a referendum, I would vote for a separate state. That means I would vote for secession. And I would like to explain why. I once was in the movement before I came to this country. And looking back to our history, in 1955, my father and all the others who started the first movement used to. My father's name was Mateo Do. He later on left Sudan and stayed in Kenya most of his life, and he actually died outside the Sudan because at one time he said he could never work with an Arab. He was a separatist right from the beginning. But me, at one time, when I was in the movement, I was convinced by the late Dr. Garang for a unionist Sudan. And I got convinced because when he talked all the time, and I talked to him personally one time, he said he wanted us to change the system in Khartoum, just like the Chinese movement, the communist movement that changed China forever, for now, from that time up to now. I got convinced because I thought, even though my father was a separatist, we could change the system in.
So you were convinced by your father?
By Garang,
and
by Dr. Garang.
First, you were convinced by your father to be separatist.
Yes, I had that because I studied.
Your father died. Dr. Garang convinced you. You become unionist. Then Dr. Garang died. Now who are you?
Now I am myself, and I feel. Yeah. So as I said, the reason I have to say why I want secession now, because as you can see from my history, I stayed out of my country for a long time. In the first movement, I studied in Kenya, started my primary in Sudan, but later on, continued with my primary in Kenya, and then when I grew up, I went back after the agreement, Addis Ababa Accord. I went back to Sudan, and for the 10 years that there was peace, I was working there, and I hated the Arab, right? Like my dad hated them.
You didn't tell us why you want to be separatist, why you hate them. Tell us tangible things.
That's what I'm trying to explain. As I said, I later on changed for secession because I have seen that the Arab will never change. The Sharia law will never be changed. The culture that we value so much, like here, I've lived in the USA for some time and I know what diversity is. But the Arab in Khartoum will never accept diversity. They all want their way. They want Sharia law. They want us to be Arabs. They want us to embrace their culture, their songs. When you see the media, when you see the history books, when you see all the things that are in Sudan, even being shipped down to the south, it's always been Arabs, Arabism, Islamicism. We, the Christians who are there, the animists are not represented. So I feel that it's just a shortcut for us, and it does not mean that when we become secessionists, we can never expand later on, because when Garang convinced me to be a unionist before, even the people now who are being, they're being singled out that they're unionists, they are bad, and what. These are actually loyalists to Garang. The way Garang taught us was to be a unionist, not to be a separatist. So
now you become separatists because
not because of Garang's death. Sorry, okay. It's because of the system.
I think the point he's making is quite clear, and I just wanted to reinforce that by saying that his departure from his initial sort of status. Augustino Ting, Mayai. And I am, of course, addressing or reinforcing what he said about the secession as far as his influential folks, such as John Garang and his dad. I think what has to do with John Garang's position in the past, it could also be changed. And I agree with him that to some degree, I was personally part of the movement and was, of course, alerted that this is what we need to pursue, that is to change the system in Khartoum. But in the long run, as I was able to learn about the process and how we were getting treated, I realized that the idea of New Sudan became a utopian. And so regardless of whether or not John Garang had died, I think I would have voted for secession. And that's because the New Sudan was not possible. And that's what I believe.
You say the New Sudan was not possible?
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that one man's ideology cannot be applicable to everybody. Thank you.
Well, the reason now is the reason I will say that I will vote for.
The question is, if you were to vote today, will you vote for new states? If yes, why? If no, why?
Definitely, I will vote for a new state for some reason. Why? Because the Southern Sudan, the Northern Sudan, they don't want it to stay with the Southerners. Simply, we can go back to the history. In 1948, the Juba Conference, our elders, 47, our elders, they was for unity, and we have not get anything for that unity. In 1973, we signed agreement to be a 72. We signed an agreement to be a one country, and we have not benefit. Again, in a Khartoum agreement in 97, we have not get anything. Now in the CFA, we are also struggling to implement what was being signed. So the Northerners actually, they don't wanted us, they wanted the resources of the Southern Sudan.
Before you give your mic away, I want Mr. Dalben Malwa to say, this is what I think I feel not right, not because us. Tell me.
I think, as Dalben Malwal, I have not said my position. I'm working here with SPLM National Secretariat as advisor for finance. And my position at the Dalben, I wanted a new state, the Southern Sudan state, period.
Why? Tell me why.
Why? Because the Southerners, they wanted us, the Northerners wanted us to be Arab, wanted us to be Muslim. We are not Arab, we are not Muslim. And if you see now in the state TV, that is run by the government, of the national government, which is called the National Unity Government. I never see any program that been produced as somebody from Southern Sudan. What is going on in that TV is from Arab, is from Islam, and that is all.
So if they start having shuluk dance on that TV starting on Monday, you would vote for unity, right?
Well, that is not the case. Because showing somebody dancing in the TV is not the case.
You just say that the program.
No. Yes. Well, because the TV is a national TV. Because there I see some people there presenting the paper, presenting the program about the economic, about the culture, but I never see somebody from the Southern Sudan talking about the culture of the Southern Sudan, talking about the development in Southern Sudan, talking anything that coming from Southern Sudan. So what I see is something that coming from the Northern Sudan. So I say I'm not a part of that country. I'm not a part of that unity. Thank you.
We heard you very well. So you are saying that you are not a part of whole Sudan because you haven't been represented as you can, right? Yes. Okay, for the next person who want to weigh on this, tell us an example about yourself. Tell us what happened wrong that make you decide. Now let me give it to your chairman and let's hear what you're going to say.
Well, again, my name is Dorut. I'm the SPLM chairman here in Nebraska. This is not very simple. Most of my friends, why it's difficult to explicitly explain our positions is because of political complications. This problems of the Sudan is not problem of the South, as Dr. John put it. It started long time ago. We all know that. It is not about the program on television. It's about so many things. To give you a few examples, why now it is a time for the Southern Sudan to go and decide for themselves. And let them also show their culture in a way that not just talking, but do development, promote their cultures, promote their heritage, promote their diversity. SPLM have demonstrated that it can rule the entire Sudan. And why the new Sudan was possible back then, I still believe, even though Southern Sudan would have to leave today and become an independent state, I still have a dream that the vision of the new Sudan will become true. How? In many ways. Number one, when the Arabs have seen, witnessed the development, the competency level of the Southern Sudanese, the civilization that they have denied us for so many years, when they see we are economically prosper, our culture become a civilized culture, not the culture that they believe is a Cape Man culture, when they believe that Africanism is not to deny Arabs an opportunity to also participate in government, when they also, Southern Sudan would become a partner, not only in peace, not only providing resources, but in governing themselves effectively, then it would be up to them to come to us. When they see the Nuba Mountains is actually having a diplomatic relationship with the government of Southern Sudan, I do believe people of Nuba Mountain will vote in their parliaments to be governed by the government of Southern Sudan. And when we govern Nuba Mountain in the far west successfully, and also we govern the Southern Blue Nile successfully, these are their neighbors that are very close to them. It is not about being Muslim. They want us to be Muslim. They want us to be Arabs. Look at the Darfur. 9 out of 10 of people of Darfur are Muslim. 9 out of people of Darfur are even thinking more than themselves as an Arabs. They have gone to Mecca many times, as it been promised in Quran that you have to visit Mecca. They pray like them. They dress like them. They speak like them. They embrace their culture, and yet they have committed genocide. Now, it's up to people of Darfur. And matter of fact, people of Darfur are being, when the Southern Sudan gone, people of Darfur will be very strong because they will get their support from the government of Southern Sudan. Government of Southern Sudan will even become the peacemaker in the entire region, on the entire countries of that big land of ours. Our going, it is okay, but the dream is still alive. I do believe one day when we come together and they know the journalist like him doesn't have to speak Arabic to become a competent journalist, but he can't represent us and he can't present a credible information in a very better way. Not that he has to speak Arabic or has to have an Arab culture. Then they will understand, wow, they are just like us. I do believe we are competent people. And this is what Dr. John told us.
You are saying that you are voting for secession.
No, I will vote today. If I would have to vote, I would vote for secession today. But I still hold the dream of the new Sudan that it will come true. Because I do heavily believe that people of Southern Blue Nile will vote to be governed by the government of Southern Sudan.
You cannot wish.
I'm not wishing.
Let me finish. You cannot wish that it can be true. You have to do something to have that unity.
And what we...
Or you have to do something to have that secession. What are you doing now?
What we are doing now, we are urging Southern Sudanese...
You as Comrade Dwell.
Myself, what I am doing in my capacity of the chairman of this estate is asking my members, register yourself when that time comes to vote. And the only thing you vote for is you don't vote yourself a second citizen. Matter of fact, the government of national unity, which is, I consider it is a government of two big, huge governments, but being controlled by the NCP, have shown us that they made the fees not attractive. Should they have made the fees attractive, okay, today, people of South Sudan would have a hard time to succeed. Yeah, what I'm just doing is making sure that when that time comes to register yourself and do not vote yourself to become the second citizen of your states. You have proved it to Arabs in the past that you are competent, that you can build a nation, but because of lack of resources, I do heavily believe when we have a country of our own, that we control resources and power, we will reunite the Sudan. It will not be Arabs. Okay. Thank you.
Let's hear from a gentleman of Jonglei. Tell us what you think. Pick up from that question. If you were to vote today, what would you vote for? Unity or secession, and why?
Thank you very much. If I would vote today, I would definitely vote for secession. My name is Bandang Madinkwith from Jonglei. I would definitely vote for secession. Why? Number one, the very important thing that has been imposed on the people of Southern Sudan was the religious domination and oppression. People of South Sudan have been oppressed by religion. The states must be free from religion oppression. This is what has been done by the Northern Sudan government. I don't believe this is okay. Number two, economics. Economically, the Southern Sudanese people have been dominated economically by the planners in the north. This is not okay. Third, there has been so many steps that has been in place. In 1947, the chiefs from all the Southern Sudan regions have clearly spoken the first day of the session of the conference. They clearly stated that they want to be separate from the north, but they were threatened by the planners in the north that if they don't go for unity of Sudan, they will be completely cut out from the civilized society. Then the next day they joined the unity. What happened? All the promises that were made were not honored by the Northern Sudan government. That's number three. And thank you.
We want to have a balanced discussion. Women are not, or ladies are very quiet, and I'm sure you guys have a lot to say. So I'm giving it to you next. Let's hear from a gentleman from Jonglei State again. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you, Mayong, for having me on the show. First of all, I agree with some of the points that my colleagues expressed in this kind of topics. Though, let me say it this way. My name is Nien Chang Bol again from Jonglei State. Naturally, if the vote would have come today, I would only vote for separation or secession, period. Because I believe in the country of Sudan will not function in the way it is now and the way it used to be. Based on the simple facts that some of my colleagues talk about, look at it, like when we come to, in terms of the culture, we don't have intermarriages. We don't have a political balance. We don't have economic balance. We don't have educational balance. That shows clearly for us, even though Dr. John has to be alive today, I would still vote for secession. That's my belief.
So you're saying that we do not have intermarriage?
Yes, we don't have intermarriage. We've been denied the political balances.
Girls in Northern Sudan. That's
right.
What you're saying?
Exactly.
So if they give you a chance to get married for someone in South Sudan, your message check.
Well, not specifically, because it's not going to be only me. I'm talking about the entire Sudan.
Because what I want to hear from you is explain a scenario that happened that will let even others think, oh, if that happened to you, now you have a reason not to vote for unity.
I don't have to, even though today they decide that let us across marriage from the all entire Sudan. I will still have vote for secession.
So why?
Simply because these things will not be implemented, even though they sign it or even though they put it into law, it's not going to work.
So you're telling me
Period.
that you hate Arabs, and that's simple.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not hating Arab. They are my brothers. They are my countrymen. But the policies that actually they've been imposing on the people of Southern Sudan is not fair. Whatever they sign, they always have something to destroy it for later on.
We'll go to our second half of the,
Yeah.
of the show, and our time is running out. I'm sure many of you will have to go somewhere to work or something.
So I believe today the people of Southern Sudan, I have to urge them, please vote for secession. Period.
Right.
Thank you.
Just for the time factor, I want us to shorten our answer because we have more, even a better topic to go to. Get to the point. If you raise your hand, I will expect that you will say it right away. But let's hear from a pastor for Nabil.
أنا اسمي جيمس كواجيان قسيس في كنيسة السودانية هنا في أوماها وحابب أتكلم بالعربي عشان بعض الناس اللي بيعرفوا عربي بقدر يسمعوا. فموضوع بتاع الانفصال والوحدة في سودان العصر يعني يمكن ده قضية إشكالية يمكن قد الشكل عاقبة بالنسبة لنا كسودانيين في وقت الحاضر. فنعتقد بأن السودان في وقت الحاضر في مفترق طرق، وأنا بعيد الانفصال مع هدف معين. الهدف الأول بأن أخواننا في شمال السودان فشلوا في وحدة السودان لمدة من القرون، لأن الإسلام بقى عقبة في وحدة السودان. حتى في دستور السودان بيقول بأن الشخص المفروض يحكم في السودان يكون مسلم، والأجناس التانيين ذات الاعتبار. فده أمر مرفوض، ونحن كشعب في السودان مفروض نعيش في السلم ونعيش في وئام. والشيء الثاني الممكن أن نقول كمان الممكن أن بعيد به الانفصال هو الحضارة الإفريقية همشت في السودان وبقى ما بدو اعتبار. وأنا بشوف بأن نحن كأفارقة عندنا هوية بتاعنا، لأن السودان للسود أصلا والعرب دخلاء، وهذا التاريخ قد ميت في السودان أصليا. فالشيء نمرة 3 نحن جربنا وحدة مع الشمال لأكثر من 50 سنة منذ استقلال السودان، ولكن أخواننا في الشمال ما بينوا شيء ممكن يعكد هذه الوحدة. فنحن دفعنا ثمن كبير بالنسبة لوحدة السودان، أجيال ماتوا في سبيل وحدة السودان. فنحن نعتقد بأن انفصال السودان، انفصال جنوب السودان من السودان الموحد، ده بيجيب سلام كامل للسودان، وده كمان بيخلي السودان يعيش في استقرار وأمان. فعشان كده أنا بعيد الانفصال عشان أخواننا كمان في الشمال يعيشوا كمان في سلام، لأن وحدة السودان جعل السودان يكون دولة متفكك. فده عشان كده أنا بعتقد بأن انفصال ده الخيار اللي بيساعد الجنوبيين لاستقرار وأمان في جنوب السودان.
Khartoum is saying now this unity is different from all the unity that we've tried before. They say even there could be a confederate Sudan where Southern Sudanese will do whatever they want in their regions. They can be Muslim, they can be Christian, but that is the type of unity they're talking about now. Are you still with that?
أنا بعتقد بأن اليونتي الإخوة الشماليين بيتكلم فوقه مجرد كلام ما في الورقة، لأن حدثت في 72 بين أرايد للجنوبيين حكم ذاتي، ولما جاء نميري قال يعني اتفاقية أديس أبابا ما قرآن ولا كتاب مقدس. فعشان كده أنا بعتقد نحن تطورنا. كان في الماضي يعني عقدت معاهدات مع أمات وشيوخ، ولكن وقت الحاضر جنوب السودان وعيت وسقفت. فأنا بشوف بأن إذا كان في وحدة ما كان بيحدث في 6 شهور ولا في 7 شهور. منذ الوقت اتفاقية السلام في نفاش الأقار الآن ما تم شيء في جنوب السودان، والإخوة في الشمال ما زال يهيمن على الجنوب حتى في وقت الحاضر. حتى قبل يومين يعني جردوا الجنوب من العملة الأجنبية، فقال هم على يتعاملوا بالعملة المحلية. ماذا يعني؟ هم اللي بيستقلوا بترول جنوب السودان لأغراضهم وبمنوا بلدهم. فانا عشان كده انا كقسيس انا ما عنصري ولا انا ضد اخواني في الشمال، ولكن بنديهم فرصه عشان هو قاعد في شمال السودان، ما دين نقول لهم ارجعوا السعوديه ولا ارجعوا ايجيبت، فده ما دين نقول كلام زي ده، لكن بكفيهم يعيشوا في شمال السودان ونحن نكون مستقلين.
Right, that's very clear. Now, let's give it to Unity State so that they will so that they will expand. But that will be the last thought of this topic. Then we will go to the next one. I will get back to that more in the same referendum.
Thank you again, Mayong. My name again is Stephen Lamayangos from Unity State. The name of my state seemed like one of the factors, the topic we're talking about now, the separation and the unity of Sudan. If I were to vote today, I will vote definitely for succession. Simple reason is, I understand clearly that the issue of Southern Sudan become a new country is not a cut and run. You're not just cutting and we want to run away. As my friends have already stated that we tried a lot, since from 56 to today. And I think the Naivasha agreement gave another chance to Sudan to be a united country. And that chance, I think, have no room. Simple reason is the northern part of the country have a belief that, you know, they can manipulate everything the way they want it. Well, the simple fact is, if you look at the southern part of the country, would you really tell me where in that part of the country that you can get some tall buildings? You never find none, right? And I often to be in a court, I think 40 years ago in New York, and I was asked one by a lawyer that if you say that Southern Sudan has been really destroyed by the North, tell me, do you have in your state, Unity State, do you have one tall building that has been built with glasses that has been destroyed? And that translates to the fact that, you know, Southern Sudan is not, you know, it's not just
I want to get to the point of the name of your state. Yes, there are some voices saying that unity was imposed to them. It's not a unity state. It's actually either Western Upper Nile State, Liti State, or Western Nuer State, or something like that. What actually? Tell me more about that.
Well, you know, I think since they discovered that there is oil in Bantu. We used to call it Bantu province by then because it was a part of Malakal. So by that, even the rivers in that area now got new names. If you go, there is a river, we call it Nam, and another river call it Chulpi. Now they call it Bar al-Arab. Okay? So if you search for Sudan, you will find that. And I think most of my friend knows. No, okay? The reason is the Unity State, I think, when they give him that name, it is just only to trap us. The main reason is they want to claim the region, and there is a belief in the inner circle in the north that that area, they just really need it to be an agricultural land, and they want the lands during the, you know,
okay.
Yeah.
Let me just emphasize more about Unity State because that's something special I want to finish. Government South Sudan came to life in 2005, and it has been there now for almost 6 years. And since before government South Sudan, some of the places, like you say, were written wrongly because our folks from North cannot write well the name that are in the South. For instance, there was a place called Rupkona.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Rupkona is still Rupkona, and the government is government of South Sudan. Is that Arab still problems?
Well, there is a difference between, for example, if you have to talk to someone from French today, you will not be able to say it well, right? But I cannot change your name Mayong to be Mohammed, and that would be totally wrong, right?
The question is, why not the led government of South Sudan that they are the people that are actually governing themselves? Why haven't they changed the name?
Well, I think the Nabacha tied all of us.
No, nothing to do with Naivasha. It has to do with just the state itself.
Well,
why not the government of unity state come and say, let's say it the right way that people understand? It has nothing to do with us.
Well, I think the name unity itself is not something wrong.
My name is James, and I would like to say a little bit about the divisions and the separation of Sudan. Yes, we all know that the problem that we have in our countries and the humiliation that we have been facing for all these years is what is making us to think about what we want to do. Either we go with separation or we go for unity. I am a soldier from the SPLAs, and I came to the United States. I've been here for 15 years. So, and my being here, I have seen a little bits of unity. So my objection to this is I am for the unity of Sudan. I'm not for separation, because I've been here and I see unity is a power and power is the unity. The problem that we have is not only a problem of southern Sudan, it is a problem for all the people of Sudan, like our late Dr. John said. So even today, we say we are going for separation. There is so many things that will bring us back into war. So, so that's one of the reasons that I think if we...
Those things that will bring us to war? Tell us like this.
I have a little bit things that I wrote here.
In your mind, yes.
Yeah. I would say, as a people of Southern Sudan, what we want is exactly, or what we claims about is exactly what the people of New Mountain was claiming about. And it's the same thing that the problem that the people of Darfur is facing. And also it's the same thing that the people of Blue Nile are facing. So that if that's the case, then we should go for unity.
Here's the point. Now, if that's you're saying that the people of Darfur and Blue Nile are having the same case as the Southern Sudanese have. Now someone will say, well, in Darfur, 90% plus are Muslim. The name are the same. They have the same culture, the same as in Blue Nile. Someone in South Sudan will say, well, I will not feed on that unity. Explain that.
Yes, I think the problem that we are facing is not about the culture. It is about the treatment that we has been treated by the government of our country, that we has been ignored, that even the things that we are, that we support to get as citizens, especially as the people who are in this room, most of these people was not even born in the hospitals. We grow up in the places where there's no school. Let me finish. So we were growing up in the places where there's no school. We were born in places where there's no clean water. So, and this, all of this is the fault of the governments. And that fall, and that is the reason why we are fighting the government. So we can change the system, the regime in Khartoum, so we can put in the new government. A new government that will be able to treat everyone in every corner in our country equally.
Right.
So, and now if we just gonna say, we just gonna run away and take our parts, so it's not gonna solve our problem. And I think it is a recipe that will bring our country or even the South itself to a problem, because...
So now, this is a good point, okay? The government that you are saying we can change the regime, say in those, in the constitution, no Christian that can be president of this country. That's one thing. Second, if that regime is changed, does that mean you're going to be Muslim? Or you will come as
when I say the regime will change, I was not saying that the regime will change through the constitution or through talk. So
you're saying we go back to war?
The regimes will be, yes. Sudan has to be changed, and it has to be changed through liberation.
So you say that CPA is wasting our time, let's go back to war.
It is wasting our times, and also it is a recipe of our problem. So,
what's your name again? Tell me your name.
My name is James Garwish Galwag.
James, that's a good point. And what are you doing in the United States?
What do you mean?
Because you said let's go to war. Who's going to war? And you are here.
I have done my parts, and I think I have done my parts.
Friend, now you become the moderator because
my name is Gadwij Bedid, and I'm from Southern Sudan, and my region is Upper Nile and Gambela. So the same Sudanese and the same region. I'm from Pagak. Yeah.
Are you Ethiopian?
No, I'm Sudanese. Yeah.
And then you can visit.
You're not part of
yeah. So what I'm saying that is the problem in Sudan is not only the separation is the solution. Yeah. What he's saying that the government of Sudan is not ruled by law. It's ruled by tiny government that they judge people from their identity, from their religion, and from who they are. And it's a matter of who you know, not who you are as a citizen of Sudan. So the constitution in Sudan, they are an Islamic constitution. And if you want a union, if the Arab want not, if I want a union, I need a constitution that would treat everyone equal. Yeah.
You want to vote for unity or secession?
Separation.
For separation.
Yeah.
Now answer what he said.
What Garwich said, if we vote for unity, no, if we vote for the reason why I want us to vote for separation is because we have a different from intermarried and the constitution law that does not include us in the government of Sudan, and they treat us as separatist people.
First of all, we are tired of going to war. No more blood. We are not interested in fighting no more. We want peace. We have been fighting for half a century. Honestly, we need to stop that. I think the CPA does work. That's why the Southern Sudan is going for a referendum today. I respect the opinion of the gentleman that he speaks from his mind, but to me, I don't think going to war is an option now. We need peace. Another thing is Northern Sudan, from the beginning of the formation of the government of Sudan, Southern Sudan has been totally different through culture, through religion, through so many ways that tell us directly that the people of Southern Sudan are different people.
Okay. I want final now. They raise your hand. Okay. Okay.
This is why it's important for me to raise my hand. I think we were presented with separation and unity. There was nothing to do with war. Talking about war is not germane. And if that's the case, then these people need to negotiate, again, the CPA. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about today. And I think we should dwell on the topic. That is the separation versus unity. The war is not presented to us. Thank you.
All right. Now we want to segue to the next topic, okay? Because time is not our friend. It will not wait for us, and all of you will have to go to work. I want to do it this way. We have some new people who have just come, and I will not tell them to raise their hand, but whenever they're ready to add anything on, please, you are welcome. But I want you to participate and tell us. We are going to a new topic. This is the new topic now. Let's say South Sudan is become a state of its own. Okay? And that new state will have to have different responsibilities. You will be part of it, whether you vote for unity or even you did not even vote, you are still part of it, if that's the result. Now, how do you want to see that new state? How do you want to be governed? What do you want to be, how it can be brought to the level of regular country that have been there since 1930s. Give us your opinion on that. And I will give it to the lady.
My name is Nishan Gaj. I'm from Southern Sudan. So, I'm an Apanal anyway. So, what I could add, I think it's be good to have a separate, to be.
What do you want that new Sudan to be? How do you want to see it?
Okay, I want them to be look at like other state, like some state, like some state that just do their thing and without any complaint for others people, without touching no one.
That's a well heard point. She said that new state need to be in peace, unity, and no problems between one another. Let me give it to a gentleman. Please say your names and where you come from.
My name is Tugul Nyadil. I am the Secretary General for the SPLM chapter here in Nebraska. What I want to see happen is when the South become self-independent, I want a government that is uphold the rule of law, that treat everybody equal. The reason why we've been at war is because we've been mistreated. So this government, I want to see it to be a very inclusive, a government that respects the rule of law, a government that is for the people and by the people.
That's a good point. Oh, now I will come back to you, but let me give it to our comrade. Tell us your name, to what state you come from in Southern Sudan.
Thank you very much. My name is Elizabeth Benjamin Ajonga. I am from Barkazal, northern Barkazal. I am a former chairperson of SPLM chapter, and I'm working with the SPLM secretariat right now. To answer those questions, if South Sudan became a new state, first of all, I would like to see South and North in a good relationship. I would like to see South Sudan working harder than now. Not just people who are there, even people who are in diaspora, because we will not just go back in one day. It's going to take us time. People in Africa, people in the United States and other places, it's going to take us time. But still, we are going to work harder than before. How I can participate, whether I'm here or I went back, I will participate by all means, by my money, my energy, my time, as before, or more than that. How do you think the state will look like? I think it will look like more work is needed. You know, I know our people, we will.
How you yourself, as Elizabeth, how do you want that new state to look like? And how can it look the way?
I want it to be peaceful, you know, like to be a peaceful state. I want it to be look like diverse. I want it to be look like it's developing. There is a development. I want to be look like the vision that our heroes died for it, and the goals that we put on the table. I need to be, you know, I need the state to be looking like that. Like there is a goal.
How can it be like that? What can be done to get that point?
It's gonna take us energy to do that. You know, as I mentioned before, it's not an easy job. It's not an easy job. People have been working, and I will repeat myself again that we need more work. You know, I can say that I need the state to be looking like that. But if I sit here and you know, thinking that somebody will make the state, because the state cannot not look like that without no work.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now what we want from you, and I want everybody to add before I get to your point, don't forget that Yes, we know that we want to see a beautiful Southern Sudan, or whatever name it will be. We want to see a peaceful Southern Sudan. We want to see a Southern Sudan that has a relationship with Northern Sudan. We want to see a Southern Sudan that is developed. But the question is, how can that get to that point?
Okay, thank you again, Mayong. My name is Nien again, Nien Ball from Jonglei State. Yeah, that nation that we're waiting for, that's the only country that I'm waiting for. How we gonna look like? In my personal opinion, I want this government to be accountable to the people. This government need to be a representative democracy in that government, that all the leaders has to be elected fairly and freely. And then it need a leader that respect the democracy and also the leader that is accountable to the people. And that's the nation that I want to see. The nation that based on laws, that the nation that is based on the respecting of the people of that nation. Thank you. Sorry.
Southern Sudan is a fertile land, has a fertile land. It has a great economy. It just needs someone that will get it to that point. But before we come back to that point, let me go to our Eunice, and I heard Eunice was Miss South Sudan. You haven't emphasized on that. That's important. So please give us what you think.
Thank you. Yes, I think for us to be able to actually become a productive country as Southern Sudan, because in my mind, I already consider us as Southern Sudanese an independent state, you know, because we have our own flag, our own government, and we are capable of building ourselves. Why do we need Northern Sudanese? We don't. People often say, well, my friends who are unionist state that the land of Sudan belongs to us. Of course it belongs to us, but how long are we going to suffer for it? You know, there has to be a point whereby we cut the umbilical cord and move our separate ways. Now, in relations to how we as Southern Sudanese can become a strong state, there's certain things we have to tackle. These things means that we have to eradicate nepotism. Just because my brother, and I'm in a strong position, my brother is next to me, it doesn't mean I have to employ him. I'll employ a strong brother, a strong sister. He might be from Unity State, whichever state, but if you're capable of taking on the responsibility, I am going to employ you, you know? The second thing is the aspect of tribalism, you know? We're all one Sudanese. We have the same blood. When we bleed, it's Southern Sudan, you know? And we have to get that in our minds. Thirdly, the aspect of corruption. You cannot be money hungry. When you die, will you pocket all the money and put it in your pocket? Do you think your relatives are going to put the money in your pocket? No, not at all. So we have to consider all these things as important. And one of the things we have to establish is strong institutions. These institutions include the education, health, and economic. Without those three important institutions, Southern Sudan cannot develop. And that means that we need to establish strong relationships with investors from across the globe. Thank you.
Before your thoughts finish,
Mm-hmm.
you just say that we have the same blood, we are the same people.
Exactly.
Don't we have the same blood with Northern Sudanese? Why would you have to cut that umbilical cord?
Okay, we might have the same blood, but how are they treating us? You know? We have to look at that. If you're my brother, I would want what's best for you, just like I would want for myself. But that's not how they're thinking. So, of course, there's that aspect, you know, Cain and Abel in the Bible, you know, the story of that, you know. We cannot keep attaching ourselves to somebody that does not want us. We have to love ourselves, respect ourselves, have high esteem within ourselves, you know. We do not need to attach ourselves to people who find us repulsive.
So,
you know?
Because the unity of Sudan, the whole Sudan fails to love themselves. That is the reason why South Sudan is departing away, and that's why even the government being blamed by the other Northern Sudanese that they let South Sudan go. But if we cannot reach our differences, it will happen in South Sudan as well. Now it's come to a very good point. The economy of this country that you are talking about need someone that know how and really know how to bring it up. We have one gentleman that is from Unity State. You went to school to become a business person. Yes, that's right. So a business point of view. Tell us short, because we have to go to other people.
Okay. Thank you. That's the part I really want to wade in. In the portion of economy, I want Southern Sudan to be economically prosper. How? Currency must be strong. How it is going to be strong? We have to let the other nations, like neighbors countries, Ethiopia, Uganda, Tanzania, including Northern Sudan, to come and invest in our country. We have our natural resources like oil. We have to use the oil to strengthen our currency. That's number one. Number two, in terms of allowing other countries to come and invest, we have to make a balance between the GDP, the gross domestic product. It's going to be very difficult because we are bringing in the technology from other countries. While what do we have? We have the oil. We have other natural resources like gold and everything. Will help us strengthen our currency. This is number one. We have to look into that issue very well. Other thing is to allow the technical experts to look into how we can develop our economy, because we don't want to fail in that route. The economy of the country is very important by allowing investors from other countries, including United States. We have so many people here that are in the U.S. can go and invest in our country. First of the very important thing when countries invest in other nations, how could these countries come and invest in our country? Security. Our country must be stable in allowing the countries that are coming into our nation to promise them that their money, whatever they do in our country must be protected. They must have right. This is number one. So we have to strengthen our security and military for them to have a security come and invest in our country.
He was going to add something on what she said. Are you still having the Are you still having the same thought? And please hold your thought as well. Okay? Yes.
Yes. The reason why I want to add what she said is that this is a very important point. The allegation that South Sudanese, especially and outside world, they're claiming that we, the Southern Sudanese, we are not capable of governing ourselves, and this is truly false. We govern ourselves for how many years? Almost like since 1966, and now we survive. So there is no reason for us to afraid to have our own government. That's nonsense, and that's the allegation that other nations are been trying to portray. So.
Let him add first, and then you get back.
Thank you. It's Augustino. It's Augustino, and I would like to add to the development aspect of Southern Sudan. He did emphasize the central and most important things that our society would like to that we would like our society to consider should we become an independent state. However, there are two things that I would like to add to that as part of this sort of proposal. One is that for us to have investors and to have the confidence in us, we have to have strong corporate laws. We don't have those. The government must develop those, not just for investors outside, but from within as well. That's one aspect that I would like to see. The most important aspect, however, on top of that, it's science and innovation. Societies that have advanced themselves to this point, including the US, have made it so far because of science. In the absence of science, we will be in the same place in the next 20 years. And my suggestion, as someone in research and demography in particular, is that the government must invest in scientific work and innovation for us to make decisions on issues, to come to effective solutions and policy that can then change our system for the better. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayong, again. This is Stephen. What I will add to what my friend just said, I'm a business student anyway. We've been in this country now, we know the most important thing in America, if you cut or if you break the highways today, the economy will collapse. And now it seems in Southern Sudan, I'm not trying to blame our government, they did a very good job. But if it happens, become a new country, we need to focus internally to build roads. Southern Sudan need to be connected. And that's one aspect in any economy to attract others. And how? Well, we need to put, let's say now, if Southern Sudan is separated today, we'll have 50% that has been gone to the north for that long. And that 50% need to be really channeled to the internal development, building roads between the states. And the other thing is, there's a concept in Sudan, the only job that everybody wants to have is a government job. And we need to focus in private sectors. And that is the big failure in most of African countries. If everybody focus in public sectors, and then therefore corruption will never be gone. So I will need our government to do that.
فأنا أعتقد بأن عشان اقتصاد تنمو في جنوب السودان، إذا جنوب السودان أصبحت دولة في المستقبل القريب، ففي ركائز أساسية ممكن يخلي الاقتصاد تتطور في البلد. فأول ركيزة أساسية هو التعليم. فالتعليم سلاح، وجنوب السودان من الدول اللي بقى عندها يعني نمو تعليمي كبير، فخاصة في دول الأوروبية، كندا، أمريكا، أستراليا، في كثير من الخريجين حكومة جنوب السودان المفروض يستفيد منهم ويوظفهم في مجال الخدمة، في مجال العمل في السودان أو في جنوب بصفة خاصة. ممكن يطوروا مجالات بتاعت الزراعة، تعليم، مستشفى، ففي مان باورز، يعني تعليم ركيزة أساسية. الشيء الثاني جنوب السودان كمان عنده مياه ممكن نستفيد من المياه الموجود والأسماك. فعشان الاقتصاد تمشي لقدام بيحتاج يكون في نظام تمشي حسب القانون، والحكومة يكون يده في كل شيء حتى كل شيء يسير بطريقة إيجابية. نمرة 3 أنا بشوف كمان بين جنوب السودان يعني عنده في عنده مان باور، يعني في رجال ممكن يشتغلوا. فناس كتير كله بيركزوا على السياسة، وسياسة مش كلنا نكونوا سياسيين، ولا كلنا ممكن نكونوا جيش، ولا كلنا ممكن نكون بوليس. فياريت يكون كمان في نظام تاع القطاع الخاص، كل زول يقدر يشتغل يطور المجال اللي هو قاعد فوقه. فنحن ما ممكن كلنا نكون برجوازين، فياريت كل واحد يشوف له الشغل المفروض يعمله عشان البلد يتطور. الحاجة نمرة 3 أنا بشوف بأن كمان الطرق هو شريان الحياة. لو بقى في طرق بيكون في حلقة بتاع تواصل بين الجيران. حاجة نمرة 3 كمان المفروض نجيب تكنولوجيا من برا اللي بقدر بتطور بلد بتاعنا. فأنا بشوف جنوب السودان اقتصاد بتاعه ممكن يكون قوي إذا كان استفدنا من الناس اللي بيجي بيعمل انفستمنت. حتى في جنوب في ناس بيشتغلوا جايين من برا ومديم مجال أكتر من أولاد البلد، يعني في ناس كل الأجانب هم المسيطرين على الاقتصاد في البلد. فده حاجة غلط، نحن شايفين في السيستم تحكم بتاعنا، ومفروض نرفع الاقتصاد بتاع البلد من خلال رجال الأعمال بتاع البلد، عشان الاقتصاد عشان يكون في قروش في البلد، وعشان كمان يكون بتاع البلد كمان يمشي لقدام. كل ما نوفر السيولة في البلد كل ما الاقتصاد بيتطور. كل ما الأجانب هم يكونوا المتسلطين على الاقتصاد كل ما الاقتصاد بقع، لأن إذا هم خرجوا من البلد وين نلقى قروش؟
You want to add something?
The same thing, like he said, that we have to, yeah, I just want the government to look at the small businesses like entrepreneurs to I've seen it in this country. The government always help small businesses. That's how to bring our economic.
As I tell you, our time is running away, so I will give 3 people chance. I will give it to Jonglei State, Lake State, Upper Nile, and Equatoria. Okay. Okay. So now we hear this is we hope that it can happen again, and we wish that it can happen again. But the reason we have this show is that other people, even here in the United States, will love to hear that you say what they want to say. Okay? And that's why it's okay for you to say that you want to be for unity. That's perfect. Thank God. It's a good thing. Because there are some people that go for unity. But I don't know about war. So now let's give it to our gentleman who start the whole thing, but this time in a short point. Please tell us, after we've been discussing all this, summarize it in 1, 2, 3 words.
And I just wanted to say that, I've lived in this country to enjoy the freedom, the peace, and I have become addicted to freedom, liberty, diversity, and that's what I would wish for my country. All of us know that.
Thank you. On business, well, we closed that chapter earlier, so we can well, Upper Niles are too many here, so I will only give chance to one person. So yes, so Unity State, let me go to Unity State.
Because we are majority in the United States.
As our brother just emphasized that there's not a country that is going to be governed by laws, the rule of law. It's a country that there is a freedom. So in Southern Sudan, we need freedom. And the same thing also, we really need to have a freedom. That means the freedom, the real freedom in which women's rights is respected. And I know our government already gave about 25%, right, or 5% to women, 30% to women. And I think that percentage should increase when we have our own country. And I see the country that everybody is equally represented. And that's what I need in New Sudan, the Southern Sudan be.
That's a very good point, and that's a real freedom coming from a man reminding us about giving women, well, they already have it anyway, don't you think? So now let me give it to What Ups to, yeah. What Ups? Yes, yeah. Yeah. Yes. Huh? You are from What Ups as well? Okay.
Again, this has been a pleasure, and it's part of a plan, or at least hope for us to become an independent state. I would like to summarize by saying, hopefully, I would like to see my state, the Southern Sudan state, to become, of course, a state that has the economy that is vibrant, the state that is secure, the state that is conducive to all the sort of human liberty and all the human services that are needed, equality as it has been emphasized, giving women the opportunity, and for all of us to exercise what is known as the opportunity for humanity. Thank you.
Okay.
Why don't we wrap it up by going this way?
No time. Unity has spoken. Unity has spoken. Eastern Equatorial has spoken. Let me give it to one gentleman from Jonglei State.
Thank you, Mayong, very much. And it is a pleasure to be a part of this discussion. What I would like to emphasize, like the rest of my colleagues actually spoke on this, my short summary for this would be, I would really love to see a state where the rule of law and the respect of human rights, and also the state that is actually putting the children into the consideration. I need every child in that state to get education in very short period of time, because that has been lacking for many years, and that is our backbone of the nation. If we want to become a strong nation, we want to encourage the education in different level, from the pre-K to K-12. And that's really very, very important. Thank you.
Let me give it to Northern Bargazal so they will tell us what they want.
You got the chance? Okay. I am from Lakes too. I am married to Lakes, but I'm going back to my. Okay. Thank you. Yes, but I'm married to Lakes. Yeah, no problem.
Let's go with Northern Bargazal.
Yeah, anyhow, yeah, I'm not going to repeat everything. I think my brothers here put everything and my sisters in place. Yeah, I need to elaborate on social services. As a human services person, I would like to see the social services working very well in South Sudan. The disability and the children, the orphans and stuff like that. I need that aspect to be, something that our government should put into consideration. The other thing is the youth. Youth and women. People have been talking about women a lot than youth. Thank you for that, because they are giving us the opportunity. I don't want to talk about women issues because we are there. The aspect of working with youth, like nowadays.
When you see that light, that means it's running off. So let's give the other chance. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, wrap it up very, very fast.
Okay, our new state, Taban, when we have a new state, we will have a problem of the resources. But I wanted our government to focusing for creating a private institution, because focusing to government job will not give us a development. But I need the private institution to be encouraged, such that they can create a good network of economic to give a loan to local people who can make a private business. And this is what I can say, and thank you very much.
Upper Nile people will actually grill me, but that's the reason why. The chairman is from Upper Nile. I'm sorry, so it has to go to him. Anyway, please sum it up very fast.
Well, thank you, Mayong. Again, my colleagues have talked a lot about how the new state of the Southern Sudan will look like. In order to fight nepotism, tribalism, corruptions, you have to establish a credible educational system. And again, I agree with Agustina Ting. In order to have a technology and a good, credible innovation, you must have a credible education system. We must establish an educational system that, as Nin put it, from K-12, from K through higher educations. And also we have to establish an institution. When you talk of private corporations, again, there has to be an institution in place that accredited those private institutions. As myself here in the United States, I'm a therapist. If I could just go to anyone and provide therapy without a license, then I will not be held responsible, because there are no law in place. There must be law in place. And when there are law in place, institutions have to be established that will accredit those corporate agencies, so that then they have ethics that they follow. Again, many of you have talked of economic power. In order for us to have a competent economy, we also have, when we establish a good educational system, we have to establish a vocational training. Now, as a country that just came from war, what is important is not a big title job, is someone who's able to fix the toilet, is someone who is able to fix electric system, is someone who is able to do carpentry, so that we don't have to go to Saudi Arabia to buy furnitures. They can create them in Juba. They can create them in Upper Nile. They can create them in Bahr al Ghazal. They can create them everywhere in the south. This is where our economy will get up. Highway system. Again, we don't even need 50% of our oil to do this. I do know for sure that the reason Southern Sudan is not so crazy about building the highway system is because we are in an interim period. It is me, the way I look at it. I'll give you a recent example. Now, if you have read the news that our boss is bankrupt, pretty much. It is not by us. The money that we're supposed to get from the oil is not being put there. You know, the government hands is being tight. They have very, the bank of the government of South Sudan. Okay. Okay. Yes. Yeah. The bank of the government of South Sudan is pretty much bankrupt. It's not by us. It's because the money that were promised to be put there are not being placed. It is not because we are not managing them right. Remember, we are fighting the CPA from day one until today with our partner. Okay. Do you even know what our peace partner actually criticized us, telling us you were lying, we have given you money? It just back and forth. If you can read it, you can understand what we have now is to sustain the life of people that are living there. Building a highway is the best way to connect us, a network road with the neighboring countries. This will make our business booming. But can we make it in 10 years? Yes, we can. We can, when we become an independent state that can decide our own economic, that we can create our own economic policies. We can establish our banks. We can accredit our own banks. And we can accredit our own legal system. The reason why the corruption is there is not because people do want to get corrupt. That's not the point. The point is the legal system is very weak, not because the government do not want to enforce them. It's because of where we're at now in this particular term. When we, yeah. That's not what I'm saying. There are a few bad apples among us, but it is not their intentions to come and corrupt the government. It's because there are loopholes that are being allowed because of the lack of the legal system. Yeah.
As a chairman,
Mm-hmm.
You are saying this is what the government should have done
Mm-hmm.
in Southern Sudan. This is how we can be a good
State.
Mm-hmm. You are a chairman of SPLM here.
Mm-hmm.
You are part of that government that can bring these people to actually change South Sudan.
That is correct.
SPLM is failing in government in Nebraska. How?
Well, putting me on the spot, I will not say Nebraska SPLM chapter is failing. That is unfound. That is a bias. SPLM Nebraska is shining. SPLM Nebraska has got its own issues. Remember, when you're working in a political setting, there are issues. There are always issues, but those issues have to be tackled in a civil manner. And Nebraska has got its own, has handled its own issues very well. And as a chairman of this state, I'm very proud. SPLM is shining here. Thank you.
That's one point that I want to
add. We have. I think we run out of time, and let Ernest right here. Okay. Everything is because he's the credible person here. Okay, and that's why he has to end everything. Otherwise, portfolio is not being respected. You got it now? Okay. So thank you very much for coming to the program. Yeah, hold on. let me end the program. Thank you very much for coming to the show. And the reasons we're doing this show is two things. Okay, you are representing the diaspora as a whole. Okay, and you're actually giving yourself a chance to be seen as part of contributor in Southern Sudan. The thing that you have said will change a lot of people's lives. I'm telling you, okay? Not every single thing that you say, well, that will help, but everything that you said, a lot of it will help a lot because it hasn't been done like before. So please, thank you for coming. My name is Miyonkon, and the show ends from there. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Shalom, guys. I'm from Southern Sweden, Afanal. Bay moy kadin method ka tong nueri ko biajaling di da mo to ko gwanna ko ke 1991 ke 1981 na jan to ko di da mo ana ta di da ma beket shagwalo ba di da ma bajaket di da ma shiri da ku ramam baraga junob dial ana Gurugwanni neni munda, gurugwanni neni shenda, gurugwanni neni munda. Chamalantange Ethiopia, chamalantange Ethiopia, chamalantange Ethiopia. Gurugwanni neni munda, gurugwanni neni shenda, gurugwanni neni munda, gurugwanni neni shenda yo. Chigaluidor, chigawakikinyen, chigakaidor, chigawagazeri, de barge, de chasale, changoksin mentemen. Gurugwanni neni munda, gurugwanni neni shenda, gurugwanni neni munda yo. Chamalantange Ethiopia, chamalantange Nairobi, gurugwanni neni munda, gurugwanni neni shenda, gurugwanni neni munda, gurugwanni neni shenda yo. Chigaluindar, chigawaga Ethiopia, chigaluindar, chigawaga Addis, de barge, de jasiale, chengoksin mentemen, gurugwanni neni shenda, gurugwanni neni munda, gurugwanni neni shenda yo. Thank you, Jisaran Sudan. Guru biatekel gatitkel, kaloikel, kasharkel, ko chukonde le melwidor, ko bedoran bijanador, mebishwangarwade. Ajen shode mechalaria shwala nishan gash, la shloide te dalong. Neme chelege yu ay ladu zo kon medarulan. Ajen yu anam foin de panchine ku kamanda ajen ladu gene. Te biatemal, yendial yenedin tike junub. Kwar kon ba buku gamoy gabom ko big mission me be kana lad bagwalo. And thank you for everybody. And January can you Southern Sudan. Thank you.
يعني شرع كران دول قضان كسي دول قض كان نبراسكا ونما فمن قينا يكون دول قض كأمريكا كوكي السودان أجن المال شابان كالسودان أن كوما ده جلالات كوما اسبلي كن كوما السودان ده كان اتفاقية من شابان كان نفاشة ده كان لالات لدلات أجن بكل أعمال كالسودانو ميري وده قينا إنه ده قا إنه كان شعب كجنوب السودان كان بلو نايل كدا كنوبا ماونتن وده كم شونديان وده كبوت شركة من شاك كمرار كاتفاقية ديوديان من قينا كونجي دويل قط كأمريكا جنو كان شعب تنتقي جنوب ده كجال اللور ده تك security مقا مدين أديكو ده كجال تل security كا نيوذا نو مال بوينده كان أقوام نجاك السودان من دين جن كنيم أجن ودا تك security كودا referendum ده كل واقع من واندين ده نيلار جيساوس أجن ده غرودين كاب كيل ده غرودين يونايتد ده تكريت كيل ده تكشار كيل ده كروج كيل ده غروج كجو كيل ko tel unit ga kam niken jagane o bigo betem malka Sudan so da go apany no kan ji so da go to kel kada ga government de ji Saudi alda ka lok baga pal ka kwimala ka Sudan cer mene ne alat kanga ne ko 2011 bi mugo ababara ka Sudan bi Sudan betamal bi gad Sudan bi ka tere mala ka bi gad jino bi ken mingor kane ka kwi weidien bi ken mega ken fa namo agenda ne lariete loy kolong ne ye shung ne kel ge ye pal ne ka kwidon kanga ne ndol kot ka America tekel ke kumedan la ne ni yamale ki loy ka test ne mejen jawda chag record kwidon da go apanyo de yene lok ko de ne tin lat roden de wede ne ngaj da ko go apanyo de dub de jakala ka jal ko de na der ga jala lor rewda bo da go apanyo go an kuma da ku la da bum da corruption da talk da dol wal da ta sin da dol gor da ta sin da ne ideal da ram loy gwa nyura da cherne dum ro kam ne de ga loy got chene ken go da ro long da ga fur da go abo kuma da na lok da tikken muj to ngak ko da ro den la da ka fa jane ne lar yeno mo bimal beta ken ga. Thank you.
I came to Cross Mall here in Omaha, Nebraska, and one of the shop here in the mall is owned by one of the Southern Sudanese young man, and his name is Bandak. And I'm going to ask Bandak about how is the business is going and relatively to the community of Southern Sudanese living here in Omaha. Mr. Bandak, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful today. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Tell me, how did you begin to have a shop like this, and who are your customers?
Basically, my customers, as of right now, is like very much everybody. We have Sudanese, we have the regular American, and we have the Mexican. So basically, the reason I decided to open my business because everybody else have their business, but except Sudanese people, we don't have our own business. Because for Sudanese people, we have some people, they only sew clothes, that's what they wear. Because we have those African tradition clothes, which they don't have them in regular stores. So that's why I decided to open my own store. So all the Sudanese, when they want something, they will come and find it. For example, like back home, a lot of people wear a bunch of jewelry, because that's our culture. Example, like jewelry like this, like people wear back home, and like this one, and like this one, and like this. Stuff like here, that's a good stuff. So that's why I decided to have them. Even I wear one too.
So you're pretty much trying to keep the culture alive?
Basically.
I just want to jump into questions, and the reason we're here is about the referendums back home in your country. You are here, seem to be home to you. Are you thinking of going to Southern Sudan or Sudan, or are you thinking of voting during the referendum?
Yeah, everybody definitely want to go back to what they came from. So I'm looking forward to the next year and beginning of the year and see from there what's going to happen.
So are you telling me that are you going to vote during the referendums, and how?
Yeah, basically. Definitely.
And what would your vote be? That's two options. Secession, that is the separation and creation of a new state, and keeping unity alive. Which one?
Which one right now? I'll probably go with separation for now.
And why?
Why? Because in Sudan now we have so much stuff going on. So it's better now so people just to be separated for now, and then try to build a country, and 10 years from now then people will see if they want to unite again or they just want to keep it separate. That's just my opinion, so I don't know about everybody else's opinion, so I cannot speak for everybody else.
So, and how, if you're talking about having a separate country, how can you help to build that new country that you're wishing for?
Basically, you need people like mastermind. When you try to build a new country, basically you need like intelligence people who could operate and build the country from ground zero all the way to the top.
So tell me, if Sudan become two countries and there's a new country called Southern Sudan, how would you want to see that country come up?
Or to see that country to come up like to a first world, from third world to a first world. And the only way to make that happen by people to start building things, like make like highways, hospitals, because that's a problem right now in Africa. We don't have no hospitals, we don't have no water, electricity, and that's the most important thing you need in a human life.
And that's come because the education in Africa, maybe not the whole Africa, but many African countries, the education is not to the level. But how can that help? How can you contribute yourself?
But okay, come for the education, okay? How you gonna have like education running while you don't have no hospital, you don't have no electricity? So if you try to have children go to the school, how they gonna go study while they don't light? And if a child is sick and they're in a hospital, how are you gonna go to school?
But how can that come about? Tell us, how can that hospital can be built? Tell us how.
How the hospital can be built? The government is in charge of everything, so they need to hire people and make it happen. Because I don't see any reason, if they have the authority to run the country, I don't see why you don't have a reason to build the country. Simple as that.
So you told me that you once were, you joined the military in this country, in America. What military did you join and what did you learn from that?
No, I cannot talk about that now.
Right, thank you. Conduct who?